Hello, good evening. Okay, I think um, that's good evening. Thank you for joining us. How are you this weekend? I hope you're doing great. Give me a minute to type in the topic. Okay. Hello, nurse. Maintaining menstrual hygiene and managing menstrual pain. Hello, Nurse Grace. It would be great if we can see your face. Um, so that hello, thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining us. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Girversation. I think you need to turn the back to your front camera so that we can see you. Hello, Grace. Good evening. Can you hear me? Hello. I can't hear you.
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Can you hear me?
You can't see me. Wow,
Yeah.
I can see. Please, is there anybody that can see me? You can just type that you can see me. Um, I don't know. Do you think you can go off and join in again? Maybe you can see me. Is you there? Thank you. Go back to the parlor. Take their water. Okay. Is there anybody that can see me? Please, if you are on the live show, can you type that you can see me? Hello, Folua. Hello, Becky. Hello, Fumilayo. Can any of you see me? Please, can you just type if you can see my face? Because my co-host says that she couldn't see my face. I'll be glad if anybody can say, can type in the comment section that they can see me. Anyone, can you see me, please? Folua, Becky, Fumilayo, can you see me? Hello, good evening. Can you see me? Anyone? Hello, good evening. Can anyone see me? Oh, thank you. So maybe it's her network. Thank you, Folua. Good evening. So you're welcome. While I wait for my co-host, I'll do a bit of introduction to today's Girversation show. And we'll be talking about maintaining menstrual hygiene and managing menstrual pain. So this is one part of every woman's life that is so challenging. Some of us have even wished to be men because of this. Someone like me, I'm like, I'm so exhausted. I'm tired. But you
Mhm.
see, it's a blessing. As much as you are complaining about it, someone is looking for it and someone wants to also have to see their period. But that's a topic for another day. But when we talk about menstrual hygiene and your menstruation, it's something that is so important that we cannot but talk about it. And then we know that your menstrual cycle happens between some people between 25 to 30 days every month. Some people basically might not even see um, their their menstrual cycle like every month. We have cases like that. Like I had a time when I think the first time I started my period, I think I was 10 or 11, either JSS2 or JS1. And I I didn't see my period after the first time. And then I was not surprised and well, I wasn't even amazed because I didn't like it. As a very young child, it's something that is strange to you. So the first time you don't see your period is like, okay, maybe this thing that's come to disturb me has gone, let it just go away. But you see, it's part of our lives as females. I really hope that my co-host will join me back, because she sincerely needs to be here. So it's part of it has been part of our lives. It's something that we see every month, and we also need to take care of ourselves. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, um Lydia, for joining in. So we're talking about menstrual hygiene and managing menstrual pain. So we cannot but talk about our menstrual cycle, right? As women, we see it every month. You like it or not, it frustrates you or not, it's just part of it. It's a blessing from God. It's a gift from God that makes it possible for us to be able to bear children later on in life. Yes.
Can
Isn't
you
it
hear me?
amazing? The same body and that has grown, and all of a sudden you start to see your menses, and then you hear things like, oh, you're not a woman. Interesting, right? But it's something that is part of our lives, and we need to talk about how we can maintain menstrual hygiene, how we can manage pain. We have people who faint when they see their periods. We have people who are rushed to the hospital during their menstrual cycle. We don't judge them, because every other person experience some form of pain. While some people, I won't say they are blessed, but I'll say some people are just lucky enough not to go through period pain, while some experience it. I won't say they are not lucky, but they are just unique. So we want to talk about these things. We want to hear how we can help ourselves, how we don't get to be dirty when we have our period, how we can maintain a clean body when we are seeing our period, and then how we can also manage this menstrual pain. So, like I said, it's a topic that everyone as a woman must talk about, either sooner or later. And yes, I'm even aware that as a lot of outreaches are done to talk to children, especially young girls. Some people see their period as early as 10, some 11. It depends on the person's particular um, age and when puberty hits that individual. So while we dive into menstrual hygiene, now what is hygiene? Hygiene is cleanliness. When you're talking about maintaining a neat environment, a neat body system, and then when you talk about your menstrual hygiene, we're talking about how you can maintain being clean during your period. How can you maintain being clean? How can you ensure that you don't smell? Because whether we like it or not, menstruation smells. It's not something that you should be on for long hours, longer than 4 hours or longer than 3 hours. As a woman, you must ensure that you wash up properly. Some people don't even know that they have period smell. And this is something that every woman must be aware of. How can I maintain this particular season of life that I would not have odor and people would not notice that I'm on my period? Now, let me now share my experience. I remember in secondary school, obviously, like I mentioned, I started my period early. So there were times that I got stained. There are times that I got stained. Now, this can happen, and it's not your fault, especially for people who are not yet used to it. Older women, those of us who have seen our periods for at least over 15 years, we can tell you that you grow in learning, you grow in understanding your body system, you grow in understanding your body cycle. So it's possible for you to understand your system. It takes time, right? It might not happen once, but it's possible for you to grow in understanding your body system and learning how you can basically maintain your menstrual hygiene. So looking at our menses, I mentioned earlier that some people usually have 25 days, some even have as early as 21 days menstrual cycle. You prepare yourself. I see a lot of people who say things like, oh, I don't know. Thank you, Gift, for joining us. I see a lot of people who say things like, I don't know how to calculate my cycle. I don't know how to, pin it down. It just happens and then I get stained. Now,
Oh, can you
nobody
hear
will
me?
judge you for that too because it can happen. Okay, I
Just let me
okay,
know if you can
Nurse
see and hear
Grace, can
me
you
because
see
I'm
me
having
now?
network issues. I can't see you, but can you see me and hear me?
No, you have not joined the live. You've not joined. You need to let me see if I can add you. I can't see you there. But other people said they can see me. Or maybe what you do, just join. Doesn't matter if you cannot see me. Probably at the
I've
end.
been
I'm
here
really sorry
already. I'm
about
on the
this to
group.
our listeners. Okay, Gift says she can see me. So just request to join the live um the
I
request
have
to join
joined.
me, then it will be fine. We can start talking because I sincerely need you here. We've given a brief introduction about we've
Can
given
you hear
a
me?
brief
Can you
introduction
see me?
about our menstrual cycle. Oh, you say you can see her. She says she can see her. Um, let me add her again because I cannot see her on my end. Okay, she says she can see both of us, but me I can't. But I cannot see her. Wow, this is serious. And for us to start this live video again, it's going to be so tough. Wow. But I cannot see you and I cannot hear you. Oh my God.
I can hear you, but I can't see you. So
Okay,
I
you
really
can
don't know
hear
what's
me.
doing.
Oh, I can hear you now. I can hear you now, but I cannot see you too. And that's amazing. Maybe it's this funny network. Wow. Okay, so Nurse Grace, I'll hand over to you now. I'll just be like every other person that can see you too, so that you can. I think you've heard almost all the things I've said. I actually thought you were not here. That was why I kept speaking. All right, so let me hand over to you. Okay, Shawa is here. Shawa, please try to join the live show. I think the network is playing a fast one on us today. Just so funny. All right, are you there so you can begin speaking, please? Hello, Nurse Grace, are you there? I can't. Okay, is this Shewa? Okay, she's trying to join back. I heard that the network has been a mess. Thank you, Bola, for joining. I heard the network has been a mess and something happened underwater. It's just well. So there's been finally I can see you. You need to
I
yes,
still
I can see you.
can't see you. So you can continue because
What
time
did you say?
is wasting. I still can't see you, but
No,
if they
it's
can hear me,
okay. Even if you can't see me, it's fine. Just speak, right? But can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. It's the network. It's been very terrible today. So we just have to manage. Now I can see you, but you cannot see me and I can hear you. So it's fine. So you can begin. So Nurse Grace is going to talk to us briefly about menstrual hygiene. Then we'll ask her some questions. As a nurse, she'll tell us what we can do, how we can manage our period, how we can calculate our cycles, and how we can also manage menstrual pain. That is the number one problem of every woman. Immediately they feel like their period is coming. Thank you, Nurse Grace, for joining us. So over to you now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hello, are you there? Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes,
Good.
you can just speak.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the back and forth. I think it's Nigeria network. Okay, so my name is Grace, as introduced, and what we want to talk about this evening is something we all know about. It's just like we are just trying to remind ourselves of what it is monthly. And as the first person has said, we have different times that we menstruate. Some people have 30 days, some people up to 35, some people have 28 days, some people have 21 days cycle. But the most important thing is we know what period is, and we can say that for every woman that has reached their, please, if you can't hear me at any point, just let me know. Thank you. For every woman that has reached their pubertal age, that's they've attained their puberty, they can menstruate. All things being equal, actually, because there's some people that are still older and they cannot menstruate. But all things being equal, as designed, the normal design for every woman, when you have reached your puberty stage, you can menstruate. And it now depends on your cycle and your flow too. Some people 2 3 days they are done. Some people up to 5 days, some people up to 7 days. So, and also when you menstruate monthly, that means you're not pregnant. So, and it's just overview of what period is. It's just like our uterus, that's our womb. Every woman has a womb. It's just shedding blood, and it's shedding it through it. Then it passes through your vagina down. Then you receive it in your pad. That's just basically what it is. And this shedding happens if there is no pregnancy. Once there's pregnancy, there's no need for shedding till 9 months, and then until day of delivery. So the menstrual hygiene we're talking about is just how we can keep ourselves clean and healthy during periods. Even it doesn't have to be when we are menstruating alone, because of course we have to clean ourselves. We have to be healthy. We have to be clean. We have to tidy up ourselves and all that. So it's not just for menstruation alone, but for our day-to-day activities, our daily lives. So menstrual hygiene is just the practices you engage in during menstruation so that you don't get yourself infected. Because the blood that is coming out is it's a bad blood. It's not something you use. And if you don't take good care of yourself very well, putting some measures, you can infect yourself. That's why most people they treat infections almost every time, because they are not really taking care of themselves. And during menstruations, it depends on what you want to use. Some women use tampons, some women use pad, while some women use those menstrual cups. They use that for period. So it depends on what you're using. So if you're using a pad, or whether tampons or cups, it's important for you to change them regularly. So for pads, depending anyways, because most women have heavy flow, some have mild flow, and while some have moderate flow. So if you have heavy flow, for instance, and within 1 hour, 2 hours you are full, you should change your pad regularly, compared to someone that will have a mild or a moderate flow. But irrespective of that, we have to change. If you're using a sanitary pad, you have to change it for 4 to 6 hours. The reason, because when this blood stain gets to your pad, when you receive them in your pad, you don't want them to stay too long for them to start breeding infection. And once they start breeding this infection, it go back to you, because you are, as a woman now, you're menstruating, and the blood, for let's say you put on your pad for 8 a.m. in the morning, and then by 2 p.m. you still have the pad. Most of the time I notice that even when you maybe it stay for a long time, maybe for instance, if I mistakenly remove my pad in the bathroom and I forget it there, and I go back to you see the way the the blood will change color. It will be black and all. That's outside your body. So now imagine you're still wearing that pad on your body the way it is. That's when the infection start breeding, and you never can tell what is going to cause bacterial infections, fungal infection, name it, because it's going back to your body. And female body is a very sensitive part. Our body is very sensitive because our body is open, so anything can easily come in. Please, can we hear me? Are we hearing me?
You, I can hear you. I'm listening.
All right, okay. I just want to be sure we are on the same page. So for cup still take like more blood, but depending, like I said, you can't compare yourself to you that you have a moderate flow or a mild flow to someone that has an heavy flow. Someone that have an heavy flow will definitely change more often than you, but that doesn't mean you will not change. So let's say, for instance, heavy flow is changing like up to 6 times in a day. Moderate flow can change like 4 times in a day, because of the frequency of on how the person gets soaked. But the most important thing is change your pad between 4 to 6 hours. It is very important. And why changing your pad? So for us, for females, We may be at workplace, we may not be in our house in a comfortable place where we can easily have our bath or try to, maybe you are at work now, you are menstruating. So you can easily, if you can change your pants, because most of the time, depending on what pants we are using, there are some pants that, depending on how it is, if you're having heavy flow, it gets soaked. So you won't still want to say you want to change your pad and you can see a stain on your pants and you still want to use that. Do you get? So we can take like extra panties, or better still, if you can use disposable pants, if you can get it, that is very good too. If you can get a disposable pant to use for your period, it will be very nice. So you know that one most importantly, because you are going to your private part. You don't want, because you've touched things, you've touched tables, touched bios, you've touched a lot of things. You don't want to bring those infections to your body. So you wash your hand first with soap and water. Then you dry, then you change your pad. When you change your pad, you don't just dispose. Some people flush, which is not good. You don't flush your pad because it's going to destroy the toilet. You get a nylon, or first of all, there's a tissue paper in the toilet or wherever you're changing that is not so comfortable for you, but you want to change. Just firstly, wrap it in the tissue paper. What I do, that this part, they have their own nylon that they come with. So when you are opening the pad, you open the nylon first, then you open the pad. So I don't trash the nylon. I will then wrap it in the tissue paper, wrap it in that nylon, then wrap it in another nylon, another disposable nylon very well, and trash it. That's the best way to trash sanitary pad. Because if you can't just throw it in the bin just like that, it's just not healthy for me, so to say. It's not that healthy. So you have to properly know how to trash your pad very well. You don't flush pad. And some people have the luxury of time. They will tell you, okay, maybe because of some mites or something, like they will have to rinse it. If I don't know, but the most important thing is that you trash it very well. You don't just dump it in the bin and walk away. Then after that, you still have to wash your hand. You still have to wash your hand because you've touched something and which is infectious. You have to wash your hand so you don't infect other people and all. So for tampons and menstrual cups, you can always disinfect. So you have extra. We have the most important thing is that you are keeping it safe. Tampons can be discarded just like the way you discard your pad. But menstrual cups, it's reusable, so you can always disinfect with you. The way I would suggest you disinfect is, after using it, you just rinse it, then you put it in a boiling water for 1 or 2 minutes. You are sure you have sterilized it for use for another time. So you just rinse and use it again. It can be infectious too. And these germs, they find little or minute place to start breeding themselves. So you want to be very careful. You don't introduce germs into your body. And like I said, for your period underwear, if it's possible during your periods to use disposable pants, it will be very good. So once you're done, it's one use. You use and you don't discard. But if you're going to use your normal pants, make sure it's a cotton pants that is breathable, not too tight, not too loose, something you can comfortably wear and you are free for the few hours you are going to be using it. Make sure it's cotton. Don't use all this nylon, or make sure it's a cotton pant. And when you are after issues, you make sure you wash and sun dry. Wash properly and sun dry. You can use washing machine on however way, but make sure you sun dry. It's important to sun dry your pants. And if you cannot sun dry, iron. Ironing too is very good. If maybe you are in a place where you can't sun dry your pants, iron. That alone will take away any germs or anything that is in the pants. So menstrual hygiene is just not applicable to, like I've said earlier, it's not just applicable to when you are menstruating, it's applicable to every day of your life, because it's the way you take care of yourself every day of your life that you will take care of yourself when you're menstruating. There's no magic to it. So that's why, as women, even as men, we have to be neat. We have to take good care of ourselves, because it's better to prevent than to cure. it's better to really prevent than to cure, and it is important.
I don't know. I can you still hear her? Shewa, can you still hear her? Or can you hear me?
For any chemical or any soap.
I'm really sorry
No.
about this network. It keeps cutting. Okay, you're back. Can you hear
Can you
me,
hear
Nurse
me?
Grace?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now. So I think I have some questions.
Okay.
Okay, she's back now. She's back. I think some questions. For people who find it hard to calculate their cycle, like me, I had that problem at not before childbirth. After childbirth, my cycle changed. I was very upset with myself because I was happy. I have a family member that after her childbirth, she didn't see her period for 1 year. So I thought I was going to enjoy that space of no period. And lo and behold, after 6 months, my period came, and it came as a shocker because I was not prepared for it. So,
Okay, so
going through the
sorry,
stress of childbirth, not being able to, first time mom, you are going
can you
through a
hear
lot of
me?
stress, you are depressed, and then suddenly your period comes. What can
Can
we
you hear me?
recommend for people like this? Because it's still happening and it will still happen. Now, after
Okay,
my second childbirth, which happened to be multiples, I was thinking that, oh, maybe this period will delay till 6 months again or 1 year. And funny enough, to my shocking it was a shocking amazement. After 4 months, my period came, and I'm like in this stress, and not even 28 days, 26 days, 25 days. And these are things that I don't know if anybody can hear me. These are things that nobody will prepare you for. You understand? And they're like, so sudden. And I cannot, these are things that are happening to a lot. I don't know if we have people like me listening to me right now that experienced, the shock of a lifetime. That probably your period will come in after a while, probably 1 year. Some even say 9 months, and then all of a sudden 4 months, all of a sudden 6 months, and you're like, and then heavy flow, and I mean heavy flow, and to the extent that